we went to go have sex. So we went and found a room and started having sex. And while we were having sex, people burst into the room. It would have been 4, 5, 6 guys, big guys, adults, and I think 2 or 3 of them had guns. But they came in, they assaulted her, they beat on her, and then they shot her while she was still in the bed. They didn't beat or assault me, but what they said was, if you don't do everything that the next person coming in here wants, we're going to shoot you just like we did her. That's when Trump came in. So that's why I remember him so vividly. And it was at that point I had already decided they're probably just going to kill me anyway. I'm going to take him with me. And I tried, but I did not. Well, I kind of acquiesced to whatever sexual things that he wanted to do. But at some point, he wanted me to have sex with him. So he laid down on his stomach, and there was a wooden tent stake that was in the room. And I had been eyeballing it as a weapon. And what I did was put the condom on the wooden tent stake, put it inside of him, and I kicked it as hard as I could. And that's why he had to get life flighted out, because I ripped him open. They took me to a house. This wasn't at a party. This was later, after I had assaulted Trump. And it was kind of a punishment type of thing, where he was going to get to assault me and I guess not pay my parents, and he got to do whatever he wanted. And I can remember telling me I wasn't allowed to fight back or they'd kill me. And after he assaulted me, I don't even remember the assault necessarily, but I remember being in the car afterwards and being like really nauseous, sick to my stomach. I was seeing spots, and I mean, the guy beat me until I had broken ribs and was convulsing, turning blue and stuff like that. And the only part of that assault that I can remember is laying on the floor of the room trying to breathe. And I could hear Andy and my dad screaming back and forth at each other. And I can remember Andy Biggs saying, "You said I could do whatever I wanted." And my dad saying, "I didn't say you could fucking kill him." And, I have had more than one encounter with Trump, and that's why I tried to kill that son of a bitch, because he is a fucking monster. It's why I have not shut up about just how absolutely abhorrent he is as a human being, and that's why I tried to kill him. Because I had decided, I had already seen enough other people die that in my mind I thought, well, they're just going to kill me too at some point, right? I'm not going to survive to be an adult from this. So in my mind, he was the biggest pile of shit that I had ever had to have any contact with. So I was going to take him with me. I can remember at one point him asking the people that were kind of running that party or whatever it was at that farm, he wanted to kill somebody. He wanted to murder somebody. And they said, "Hey, that's not this kind of party. You can't do that." And they, in lieu of doing that, they said, "Well, we've got some puppies. If you just want to kill something, we've got to get rid of them anyway." So I can remember him taking those puppies one by one, and like he snapped one of the puppies' necks. He cut one open and let it just howl and writhe in pain while it died. Held one under some water to kill it. What his kink is, I guess if you want to call it that, is watching people suffer. He likes to destroy people physically, mentally, during the process of the assault. But his thing was to just try to destroy human beings to the utmost that he could possibly do it, which is why I attacked him. A lot of it just comes down to money, So if they offered $5,000 to have sex with me, then my dad was willing to do that.
Sascha, that isn't sex. That's sexual assault.
Right.
You're extremely brave. You behave extremely strong, like a warrior. And I just want to stop and say is important to me to say that, because a lot of folks, you know, wouldn't even survive such trauma, but you've survived, and you know, you conduct yourself with dignity and gracefully, and it's important to me to say that. I hope you know that.